Hello, everyone. For decades, the Swaggart ministry has stood as one of the most recognized and controversial names in American Pentecostalism, a family-driven empire of televangelism, preaching, and music, built on the fiery sermons of Jimmy Swaggart and carried forward by his children and grandchildren. But now the ministry has once again found itself at the center of renewed attention. After Gabriel Swaggart, Jimmy's grandson, and one of the heirs apparent to the pulpit, finally broke his silence on tensions that insiders say have been simmering beneath the surface for years. And his words have exposed just how fragile the balance of power, family loyalty, and faith really is within this high-profile dynasty. To understand the weight of Gabriel's revelations, one must first consider the history of the Swaggart Empire, a ministry that once drew millions of viewers weekly on television before nearly collapsing under the weight of Jimmy Swaggart's infamous scandals in the late 1980s and 1990s. Scandals that not only tested the church's credibility, but also drove deep divides within the family about how the ministry should be handled going forward. While Jimmy managed to rebuild and hold on to a loyal base of supporters, the internal fractures never fully healed, and Gabriel's emergence as a fresh, younger voice in the ministry brought with it both hope for renewal and fear of further division. Gabriel has long been seen as the polished, media-savvy face of the next generation, often stepping into leadership roles, preaching on the Sun Life Broadcasting Network, and serving as a bridge between his grandfather's old-school style and the younger, modern audience. But according to his recent comments, this image of unity has been more illusion than reality. Breaking from the ministry's long-standing culture of silence regarding family disputes, Gabriel revealed that there have been deep disagreements about the direction of the church, how much control should remain with Jimmy, and how decisions should be made about finances, outreach, and leadership succession. He admitted that while the family portrays strength on the pulpit, behind closed doors there have been heated debates, power struggles, and even hurt feelings that have shaken his faith in the ministry's stability. These tensions, Gabriel suggested, are not just about money or fame, but about competing visions. One side holding tightly to tradition and the old ways of fiery preaching and strict Pentecostal roots, and the other urging modernization, greater transparency, and accountability to address critics who accuse the ministry of hypocrisy or greed. His candid remarks have reignited conversations among church members and critics alike, with many pointing out that these kinds of internal fractures are not new to family-run ministries. But what makes Gabriel's confession so shocking is that he has been one of the most loyal defenders of his grandfather's legacy until now. By exposing the rifts, Gabriel has raised questions about whether the ministry can survive another generational handoff without imploding, and whether the values it claims to uphold can truly withstand the pressures of money, power, and family loyalty pulling in different directions. Insiders close to the Swaggart circle whisper that the tensions Gabriel is finally admitting have also impacted his relationships with his father, Donnie Swaggart, who has long served as Jimmy's right-hand man, and with Frances Swaggart, Jimmy's wife and the matriarch of the empire, who is known to exert quiet but firm influence on major decisions. For Gabriel to speak openly about these conflicts suggests that the younger generation is no longer content to live in the shadow of past mistakes or cover up dysfunction in the name of unity. His words have forced supporters and critics alike to ask hard questions. Is the Swaggart ministry still about spreading the gospel, or has it become about maintaining a family dynasty at all costs? Can faith and authenticity survive when power struggles take center stage? And most importantly, what happens when the figurehead who built it all is no longer here to hold it together? Gabriel's admission that things are not as perfect as they seem has cast a long shadow over the ministry, and whether his honesty will bring healing or further division remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: by breaking the silence, he has pulled back the curtain on a ministry that has long thrived on appearances. And in doing so, he may have changed the Swaggart family legacy forever. Thanks for watching.